This video is part of the Office for Teaching, Learning, and Assessment's Video Shorts series. In this video, we will discuss the relationship between assessment at DePaul University and the Higher Learning Commission of the North Central Association, which we will shorten to HLC. DePaul's assessment process is based on guidelines from HLC, our regional institutional accrediting body. HLC grants DePaul accreditation based on reviews and visits that demonstrate DePaul meets HLC accreditation criteria. So why is HLC and our accreditation status with them important to the university? Accreditation by HLC is required by the U.S. Department of Education for DePaul students to receive federal financial aid. It may also be required by employers for their employees to receive tuition compensation to attend DePaul. Finally, accreditation from HLC is required for students' credit hours and degrees at DePaul to be recognized by other higher education institutions or employers. DePaul's accreditation status is made public and speaks to the overall quality of our institution. HLC uses a series of criteria to evaluate DePaul when determining its accreditation status. The criterion which provides guidance for our assessment process is Criterion 4, Evaluation and Improvement of Teaching and Learning. Criterion 4 contains several core components. The component that relates to assessment is 4B. The institution demonstrates a commitment to educational achievement and improvement through ongoing assessment of student learning. This component contains several elements. The institution has clearly stated goals for student learning and effective processes for assessment of student learning and achievement of learning goals. The institution assesses achievement of the learning outcomes that it claims for its curricular and co-curricular programs. The institution uses the information gained from assessment to improve student learning. And the institution's processes and methodologies to assess student learning reflect good practice, including the substantial participation of faculty and other instructional staff members. So how does HLC define effective processes for assessment? This graphic is provided by HLC. Central to this process is the program's educational mission, purpose, and objectives. Each program should understand how well students achieve its educational objectives by gathering evidence of students' achievement, interpreting the evidence, and using the results to enhance students' learning in the future. HLC also expects that we close the assessment loop by continuously assessing each learning outcome over time. At DePaul University, we collect evidence that each academic program is undergoing this process in an ongoing, iterative, and meaningful way, which is then made available to HLC as part of our regular accreditation reviews and visits. We collect evidence to demonstrate that each academic program has articulated the knowledge, skills, and abilities it expects students will attain by the time they graduate through the learning outcomes for each program. We collect evidence that each academic program is undergoing this assessment process in an ongoing, iterative, and meaningful way by asking for annual assessment projects and reports. The annual report indicates one or more learning outcomes are being assessed, provides the method or methods used to gather evidence the learning outcome or outcomes are being achieved, indicates how data was analyzed, and provides evidence that information from the assessment project is being used to make recommendations and take actions to improve students' learning. Collected over time, these assessment reports also provide evidence that academic programs use results of assessment of a learning outcome or outcomes to inform subsequent cycles of assessment for their learning outcomes. In other words, that they close the loop. In summary, HLC is interested in each program's assessment process because it provides evidence of student learning. So what does HLC and TLA expect from each program? Each program clearly states expectations for student learning. That is, each program specifies what it is students who successfully complete the program should know and be able to do. For example, the knowledge, skills, abilities, values, and/or ethics students can expect to learn. TLA maintains a repository of all the program learning outcomes for HLC review. Each program assesses students' achievement of its learning outcomes. Faculty should know the extent to which students achieve these outcomes by directly measuring the level of students' mastery of specific outcomes, then analyzing the results. Each program uses the information gained from assessment to improve student learning in the future. Faculty should use the information they obtain from assessment to continuously monitor and improve student learning. TLA collects and maintains annual assessment project reports, which describe what faculty measured, how learning was evaluated, and how faculty analyzed the results. These reports also make recommendations for improvement of student learning based on the current assessment project's results and describe actions taken based on previous project's results. DePaul's assessment process reflects good practice. It involves the substantial participation of faculty and is ongoing, iterative, comprehensive, and meaningful. Annual assessment projects, planned and implemented by faculty, as well as assessment reports written by faculty, provide evidence of substantial faculty involvement. Assessment reports can provide evidence of good assessment practice by demonstrating that over time, specific learning outcomes are revisited, demonstrating the assessment process is ongoing and iterative. Assessment projects address all program learning outcomes, demonstrating the assessment process is comprehensive, and the analyses, recommendations, and actions taken demonstrate the process is meaningful for each academic program. If you have any questions about the relationship between assessment and HLC, please contact the Office for Teaching, Learning, and Assessment.